For good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, arguments, and debate.
In the words of Margaret Thatcher, I love arguments, I love debates. I don't expect anyone to sit there and agree with me. That's not their job.
Assalamu alaikum and a very pleasant morning to all the dignitaries, esteemed members of the Managing Committee, respected Principal of IISJ, Dr. Muzaffar Hassan, distinguished guests from various schools, esteemed members of the jury, teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I, Mahar, and my fellow companion Sneha welcome you to the 29th Cluster Meet Western Region Junior Debate Zonals 2019-20. Before we start off with the event, I would like to call upon Master Mazin Muhammad of Class 12B4 to recite a few verses from the Holy Quran, followed by the translation by Afan Muhammad of Class 10B9.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والسماء بنيناها بأيد وإنا لموسعون. والأرض فرشناها فنعم الماهدون. ومن كل شيء خلقنا زوجين لعلكم تذكرون. ففروا إلى الله إني لكم منه نذير مبين. ولا تجعلوا مع الله إلها آخر إني لكم منه نذير مبين. كذلك ما أتى الذين من قبلهم من رسول إلا قالوا ساحر أو مجنون أتواصوا به بل هم قوم طاغون. فتول عنهم فما أنت بملوم وذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. And we have built the heaven with hands, the divine power, and it is we who give the expanse. And we made the earth a base, so how well do we lay out? And we created all things in pairs, so that you may ponder. Therefore, rush towards Allah. Indeed, I am from Him a clear herald of warning towards you. And do not appoint other deities along with Allah. Indeed, I am from Him a clear herald of warning towards you. Similarly, when a noble messenger came to those before them, they always said, "He is a magician or a madman." What? Have they willed this utterance to one another? In fact, they are rebellious people. Therefore, turn away from them, O dear Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon you. So there is no blame upon you. And advice for advice benefits the Muslim. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah Master Mazin and Master Afan.
In the words of Barack Obama, when students participate in a debate, they learn to study issues in depth and form perspectives, a skill which I use every day in Senate. Now, I would like to invite Master Suhaib Syed Samiruddin, head boy of IISJ from class 12B3 to address the gathering.
Better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it. Respected esteemed member of the Management Committee, Principal of the host school, Dr. Muzaffar Hassan, Vice Principal of Boys Section, Dr. Najib Sir, Vice Principal of Girls Section, Ms. Fatima Saman, Headmasters and Headmistresses of various blocks, panel of jury, teachers in charge, debaters, and my dear friends, Assalamu alaikum and a lovely morning to one and all. On behalf of the host school, IISJ, I welcome you to the Zonal Debate Competition of the 29th Cluster Meet, where we have participants from 10 schools of the Western region. Debate competitions have been proven to be one of the most valuable activities a student can be involved in throughout high school. Debates provide experience that are contributive to life-changing cognitive and presentation skills. Hence, I congratulate you debaters for acquiring unique education benefits that will let you learn and hone your skills far beyond what can be learned in any other setting. So let's get ready to witness the wonderful debater's power of deploying rational, reasoned arguments and compelling evidence in action. Once again, I welcome you warmly to a very interesting debate competition where our debaters will elucidate their standpoint and eloquently put their thoughts on ice and enter into the heat of debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Master Suhail. I request the audience to keep their mobile phones on silent mode. The power of real debate is in the language and the intellectual honesty of the debaters alongside the engagement of the spectators. Debate is the activity that brings the art of reading, thinking and speaking together in one place. Without further ado, let's hasten towards the exhilarating battle of words on the topic, Technology Makes Us More Isolated. The dawn of the technological era has revolutionized the world. This phenomenon has brought about its own pros and cons. Technology has brought us together, but it has also drifted us apart. Today, the contestants will enlighten us further on the given topic.
Before we start, I would like to read out the rules of the debate for the benefit of the participants and the audience. The order of speech for each team has already been decided by the drawing of lots. Each participant has been given a code number which will figure in the judges' evaluation sheets. The participants should not reveal their names or identity at any time of the speech. Each speaker will be allotted 3 minutes to deliver their speeches with a grace period of 15 seconds to conclude his or her speech. A warning bell will be rung at the end of 3 minutes. The second bell indicates the expiry of the grace period. The third and final bell will be rung at the end of 3 minutes and 20 seconds. If the speaker continues to speak after the third bell, it will result in his or her disqualification. Participants should not take any material to the podium for main speeches. However, they can take notes for rebuttal to the podium.
The main speeches will be followed by the rebuttal session. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes interval for the rebuttal. Each speaker will be given 1 minute and 30 seconds for presenting their rebuttal speeches. The order followed for the main speeches will be followed for the rebuttal session as well. The evaluation scale is as follows. Analysis of the topic, 10 points. Diction, delivery and presentation, 10 points. Relevance of the material, 10 points. Evidence and illusion, 10 points. Logic and reasoning, 10 points. Rebuttal, 10 points.
The decision of the panel of judges will be final and indisputable. 3 individual prizes will be awarded to the 3 best speakers for and against. The first 3 best speakers for and against will represent the Western region for the finals.
There is something about words. In expert hands, manipulated deftly, they take you as a prisoner, wind themselves around your limbs, they numb your thoughts, and inside of you, they work their magic. So to start our back-to-back debate session, I call upon the first speaker of today's debate, F1 from the 4 team, to present her arguments.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to one and all. Today I am standing here on a debate on the topic technology is isolating us. Actually, I truly believe in what I speak and I truly believe that what I say is correct. And so the topic is technology is isolating us. Isolation is actually taking us out of our world. Means we are always communicated together, but now the technology has developed a lot that now we became isolated a lot. So I'm going to speak about some of the ways how technology isolates us. Technology is always all around us. Always we everywhere see technology here and there. Right or no? Yes. We always see technology, but do we think that technology is isolating us? Today, I'm going to say that yes, technology is isolating us, which is true and I really believe in that. Yes, our phones always keeps us away from our home. Do we always sit with our parents to eat? No. So sometimes we eat with our parents in a same table, but our conversations are through our phones, which is not right. When we are in a car, we are always in our phones, not in with our parents. We are not seeing outside, how is the world outside. So many people all around this world have so many problems in this addiction to the phones, which is the same way. This is the isolation. This technology is making us very isolated, and it keeps us away from this technology. Few people believe that technology connects us together, but that is not true. Sometimes technology, yes, connects us, but not always. It also isolates us, which is I would like to refer to the Gandhiji Dai March. Many people marched with Gandhiji for the independence and for many other things. Many people strike for so many things. Was that time with the use of technology, cars and trains were there, which is also a part of technology. But even though the spirit of him, the vision, he wanted everyone to strike, not with the use of technology also. And many people all around this world are developing new things which is also related to technology. In Japan, they made a robot in a hospital which can say you the bad news sometimes and good news of your parents. Maybe you have someone died in your family, and would you like a robot to say you that? Will you feel a good feeling if a robot said that? That would not be nice. I really believe that it is not right, and yes, technology is isolating us. And today when I got my lot and I got as first, my teacher had gave me a hug. There is any technology can make a much connection. Thank you.
Digital technology in just over the past decade has connected and educated more human minds than probably the entire sum of the planet's history. Good morning and assalamu alaikum to the honorable judges, teachers, students, my friends, and of course, not to forget, my worthy and innocent opponents. This might sound insane, but it was not until the 1960s when communication became well situated. When old-age methods began to fade, the need of pigeons to deliver letters became overrated. Once technology began to develop, communication became gradual. Family and friends had an easier way to communicate, and loneliness was no longer up to questioning. In that manner, it is only fair to indicate that technology does not make us alone, but instead it brings all of us together. In all honesty, it helps people talent and express their innocence. You can't blame technology for how people use it. I use technology every day. It can be used to express the things you wouldn't say to a person or in the real world. Many of our talents are expressed using this technology through many different ways, such as Instagram, Facebook, or even other services. Because of this technology, it's another way for us to express ourselves and make us feel less isolated. Although studies show that technology makes us alone, but that's not always true. Teens and adults use social media to connect the physical distances with one another, such as family and friends living in another state, school, work. Kids can be in social conference from interacting with people online, which can help them doing better things, such as joining a college, joining a sports team, meeting new friends. Because of social networking and technology, which is constantly evolving, everything else is done online with the help of our fingertips. Technology isn't bad. You're just upset for having a lack of self-control. Or maybe you don't like people who are enjoying their life, feel joy. That's your problem, but not technology. In conclusion, I think we need to stop thinking that technology is ruining our life, making us a slave to it, mindlessly using our smartphones all the time. It is not. It is enriching our life, connecting us to the people whom we matter the most, regardless how far they are. Connecting us to different kinds of people whom we wouldn't have met otherwise. So stop making fun of people just because they're using their smartphones. Stop saying that life and society would be better without the use of technology. Stop blaming technology for natural human behaviors. Thank you.
Thank you, A1.
I invite F2 to take the stage and share her opinion.
Scrolling through your Instagram feed in silence while you're in the car with your family. Texting your friends instead of making plans with them. Binge watching Netflix alone in bed all day long. Living on Earth, but mind in the world of technology. Honorable panel of jury, faculty from varying schools, not to forget my worthy opponents, and of course the wonderful audience out there. A very delightful morning to all. Technology makes us feel more isolated. I stand here strongly defending the proposition. Modern world has made life easy for us, but has it really? Is it not coming in our way for almost everything? Are we as millennials really comfortable with the idea of being alone, yet stay connected 24/7? Hours of getting ready, but hashtag woke up like this. Days spent editing pictures within the four walls of your room, but hashtag no filter. Is this how technology not keeping you isolated, my worthy opponents? How convenient is it that we teenagers try to escape when it comes to talking to our family on calls, but enjoy DMing those online strangers, living under the same roof, yet have no clue or understanding for each other? Isn't it technology that has led to so many failed relations? I wonder. Ding, ding, ding. Every 5 minutes we get notifications about various things. Kim Kardashian feud with Taylor Swift. Yet, we have no idea what our family had for dinner. We are so caught up with our virtual followers and friends that we don't realize we are losing our family and real friends. Let's talk about cyberbullying, or in our words, internet trolls. There is no escaping it. Bullying, mocking, teasing, you name it, common issue. With technology, it gives the bully a megaphone to a worldwide audience. It is no longer isolated in your neighborhood or schoolyard. Today, when you're electronically humiliated, the boundaries are endless. Though the contribution of technology has made communication possible at a global level, it has paradoxically resulted in less human interaction. These little rectangular devices in your pocket may be a small gadget, but is psychologically so powerful to change who we truly are. Isn't it quite ironic that a few people think that playing PUBG and Fortnite for 4 hours straight isn't isolating us? Or shall I say, my worthy opponents? Because we are isolated by technology. We see the light in it, but are blinded by how it is bringing darkness into our lives. Thank you.
Thank you for your display of thoughts.
Please put your hands together for A2.
Fishermen fishing in the deep sea, returning to the shore with their catch, being able to contact all the shores in the locality to find out where their catch will be rewarded the most is technology. That grandmother, sitting in her house on a hillock in a small village in India, being able to guide and see their grandchild through a screen is technology. India sending Chandrayaan-2 to the moon is technology. Honorable panel of judges, motivating audience, and of course, my worthy opponents. A very bright morning to everyone seated here today. Millions of lives are saved today due to the advancement of technology. And so does technology touch millions of lives every day. It binds us together, turning borders into imaginary lines. Isn't it quite ridiculous to claim that something that was created with the sole purpose of connecting humanity is now being claimed to disconnect us? Today, people interact through technology with ever more advanced devices. The engagement patterns are giving way to new, seamless, natural interaction. To prove this, a study executed by the National Institute of Health has stated that youth with strong, positive face-to-face interaction are those who use technology or social media as an additional venue to interact with others. So, is human natural face-to-face interaction really dead? Technology distracts you from the real world and crams your brain with unwanted information. To all of you who go by this claim, I have a single question. How did campaigns like Blue for Sudan and Rainforest Amazonia spread around the globe in a hurricane and got people of all ages talking and discussing? Ability to hear, a blessing and a part of our senses, a day without all the noises and voices that we are used to are quite unimaginable. When I say this, I want everyone, every listener in the audience, I plead you to open your ears wide and listen. According to a study done by the World Health Organization, 30.4 million children around the world are deaf. With the advancement of technology, cochlear implants, hearing aids, these children are able to listen to others' thoughts, interact with others, and expand their circles. So, is their interaction now to be defined as social isolation? I strongly reaffirm that technology is not a gateway to isolation, but as humans, it allows us to interact in amazing ways. It augments human natural face-to-face interactions, and we shall embrace it. Thank you.
Thank you, A2, for your perception of the topic.
Next to convey her insight is F3.
I have 500 friends in Facebook, 2,000 followers on Instagram, in my Twitter and 5 on Ellen's Oscar tweet. Yet, I am isolated. I look so happy behind the Snapchat filter, but the reflection I see in the mirror is a stranger. A very warm good morning to respected members of the jury, teachers, friends, and everyone worthy opponents. Today, my words will swim for the tag that yes, technology makes us more isolated. I strongly believe that our society has guided itself to the leash of technology and become socially disparate. Long back, before the YouTube watching era, children spend time with their grandparents to hear stories and poems. But these days, children want to hear Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa, to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Stars on their iPads. This is one of the reasons why their family members, like their grandparents, feel isolated. According to United States Emotional Maltreatment have revealed that 24% of the children below the age of 5 were physically neglected by their parents because parents were too busy with their noses in their phone. These days, youngsters, teenagers, adults are more comfortable in their room doing two jobs. Guess what? Either playing PUBG or either making TikTok videos. They enjoy conversation with strangers at social networking sites who can easily misguide them. In simple terms, I would say they want to live a life of solitude in home but want to have connections throughout the internet. According to a study of British Columbia, have found that heavy use of social media platforms can be associated with feeling of social isolation. I guess my opponents would be shocked after hearing that the technology tycoons, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates raised their kids tech-free. And they raised their kids tech-free because they didn't want their kids to be isolated. According to American Journal of Preventive Medicine, have found that cyberbullying is also one of the major causes for social isolation. No wonder, as Einstein was very correct in his prediction, saying, I fear the day when technology surpasses human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. Well, I could see them on my left side. After these many evidences and these many real-life situations, if my opponent is still trying hard to prove their point, then I would give a big salute for their dumbness level. At the end, it's all about quality of people who really care, not quantity. No digital media can replace real-life conversation and laughter. Nick Bilton, a reporter of New York Times, rightly quoted about technology. In disruptions, more connected, yet more alone. Thank you.
Thank you, F3, for sharing your views.
Let us now welcome A3 to voice his opinion.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, WhatsApp. These are not just social media sites, but come under technology. That technology which has connected us to the world. Respected members of the jury, teachers, friends, and yeah, my whole neighborhood. Today, I'll be fiercely attacking the notion technology makes us more isolated. Well, it's the 21st century, and we all would agree that it's nearly unimaginable to do anything without the use of technology. Wait, before we proceed, let me ask you a question. What is the meaning of the term technology? Well, technology is defined as the way of using human, intellectual, and digital resources in order to influence social processes. Here's something else to think about. Isolation. What is isolation? Isolation is defined as the state of complete or near complete lack of contact between an individual and society. Ladies and gentlemen, these two terms I've mentioned are completely contrary to one another because technology never led to, nor does it have the potential to lead to isolation. And I've got some real facts to prove my point. The telephone survey conducted by the renowned Princeton Survey Research International in 2016 found that since 1985, the extent of social isolation has hardly changed at all. In fact, the figure has decreased thanks to technology. My knowledgeable yet confused opponents feel that technology is the reason behind their isolation. Well, it takes one to know one. With technology, family and friends
functioning. Research has proved that not talking to strangers or being lonely is a natural human behavior. But with technology, people from all walks of life interact with thousands of others whom they never would have met otherwise. No, my friends, technology isn't making us lonely. It's bringing us closer to each other. Yes, you heard me right. It's bringing us closer to each other. Because for the first time in history, our generation has the advanced tools and resources to virtually connect with friends and family from all over the world in real time. But then, my worthy opponents would argue that no, face-to-face interaction is better than virtual. And that's likely. But technology enables to meet them in the first place. The journey that would have taken the Titanic 137 hours now just takes a meager 3.5 hours by a jet. The time. That is just enough to watch Titanic. Thank you.
Your ideas.
I call upon F4 to enlighten us with her views.
Chronic loneliness is a modern-day epidemic. Social isolation is a public health threat. Widespread isolation is killing people, and we need to start talking about it. The news headlines speak for themselves. Honorable dignitaries, judges, teachers, my dear friends, my worthy opponents, and the very village audience. Assalamu alaikum and a fabulous morning to all present here. Today, I stand before you to speak for the motion on the topic, technology makes us feel more isolated. I want you all to think about how much time you spent alone. No, I'm not talking about the time you spent alone literally. I'm talking about the time you spent alone when you're surrounded by people. I'm talking about when your eyes are glued to the screens in your hands and your focus is somewhere else. I'm talking about when you're isolated, yet you're surrounded. Maybe because of an imaginary wall, maybe an awkward silence, or maybe it was that PUBG match that you couldn't leave from. To be isolated because of technology is to find a niche, physically separated by just inches, but operating in internal spaces from miles away. The problem with technology is that it's so very good at exploiting our basic human psychology. The time we spend on technology and the internet we access causes problems. Lack of self-confidence, anxiety issues, insomnia are just some of the problems caused by technology. According to a research by TV Twins, the rate of teen depression and suicide had skyrocketed in 2011. That same year, the rate of Americans with smartphones had increased by 50%. My dear friends, it's not an exaggeration when I say that this generation is on the brink of one of the worst mental health crises in decades, and that is isolation. And much of this isolation is traced back to technology. Kids these days prioritize the use of smart devices over more meaningful activities, like spending time with family. With technology developing faster than ever, people losing their jobs and technology replacing them has become a common sight. A survey showed that people who are unemployed were often diagnosed with depression and were in isolation. And people who are employed would spend too much time around technology than we have in the previous decades, separating them from their families, with some people even placing their own parents in old age housing facilities. With more and more people in isolation, it's not long before the whole of mankind ends in isolation. I would like to conclude my speech by saying the problem is not the effect of technology on society and the environment. The problem is the fact that we spend too much time on technology, that technology is the new nature of life. Thank you.
Thank you, F4, for sharing your thoughts.
Now we have A4 to present us with her outlook.
Walter Grasberg once said, the ultimate promise of technology is to make us the master of the world that we command by the push of a button. Honorable dignitaries, judges, teachers, my dear friends, my worthy opponents, and the very well-lit audience. Assalamu alaikum and
human connection by freeing up your money, time, and energy so you can put more of it into being present, patient, and persistent. Today, many people across the globe are blaming technology for social isolation, and I'm strongly opposite. Just think, in olden days, people used to live in those small huts made of bamboo and straw. They used to travel in bullock carts. But today, these facilities are replaced with multi-storied buildings and metro trains where people live together as a single community. Is this something about isolation? Of course no. It is not only in this field where technology helps us. Technology influences the people to become more social and come together at the times of difficulties. In emergency situations, a cell phone can spell the difference between life and death. Just one quick call and help will be on its way. So now, in a case where technology can save your life, do you still think that it causes isolation? Of course no. Even Edward Teller once said, the science of today is the technology of tomorrow. With technology, one may get to know what is happening around the world. People all over the world use their smartphones and internet to get entertained and to get notifications about the current events. With technology, one may communicate with a friend who has been somewhere distant and is hard to get to. This clearly shows how technology has the ability to bring people together and thus creates a new community. A survey of 2,512 adults conducted by Princeton Research Organization says that the rates of social isolation have perhaps decreased by 74% since the 1990s. It is not only the communicational field where technology helps us. Technologies such as e-readers, computers, broadcasting, podcasts enable us to absorb as much knowledge as we like. It could definitely be argued that technology is making us more smarter every day. From gurukuls to smart rooms, where we have shifted now with air conditioners and digital boards, which allows the ways of learning and teaching way more easier. Therefore, I would like to conclude my words by saying that it's not technology which is making us isolated or less social. Look around yourself. It's our life, our mind, our choice, and the dominant factor are creating these borders. Thank you.
Thank you, Info, for sharing your perspective.
Now here is F5 to put forth her viewpoint. Even the technology that promises to unite us divides us. Each one of us is electronically connected to the globe, and yet we feel utterly alone. Good morning, respected judges, teachers, and award opponents. Today, I am here to speak on the topic, technology makes us feel isolated. And I say, yes. Actually, technology is supposed to make us more connected. But are our smartphones actually in the way of real socializing? Could technology be making us more alone? Technology making us more alone? Fine. Have you ever walked into a restaurant and seen a family dinner devoid of any social interaction? Or even a party where people sitting on the corner without interacting with people around them? I bet we all did. We are so engrossed in updating our online life that we have completely forgotten about the real world. People of all ages are affected by technology. According to the study of Greater Good, it says that the use of smartphone is taking a toll on the biological capacity we have to connect with people. It's a sad truth that mankind is looking to a forlorn and hateful future. Of course, technology is the turning point of the world. It helps us to grow advance. Almost everyone are glued to technology. One of the apt examples for this are smartphones. Whether you are at home, cafe, or office, we are just busy fiddling with our smartphones. All of us know Steve Jobs. He's the co-founder of Apple. In 2010, he was on the stage at the Apple event releasing iPad. He said it was a wonderful device you can use to interact with people and etc. But he himself didn't allow his kids to use this device because he said it had a dangerous effect on his
which causes addiction and ultimately isolation. So what is the use of this growth and advancement when we cannot feel the real blissfulness and attachment towards the physical world? Today, we go to social gatherings to just take pictures and then post them with hashtags. Basically, we live life behind the screens. Due to our constant obsession with technology, we do not recognize the significance of human-to-human interaction, which is contradicting its purpose to connect us. Like everything else, there needs to be a balance. And sadly, this balance is tilting towards technology. My message is quite simple. We need not to condemn technology, but be aware of the fact that it is corrupting our social interaction. It's time to stop stalking and start talking. Sometimes you learn from social interaction rather than just looking into technology. At the end, I just want to say that today, technology is consuming us, though we should be the consumers of technology. Thank you.
Thank you, F5, for putting forth your views.
I now call upon A5 to enlighten us with his beliefs.
Greater technological connectivity makes the world wider and the walls of isolation thinner. Respected members of the jury, judges, audience, and my worthy opponents, a very warm good morning. Today I am here to express my profound disagreement to the motion that technology makes us more isolated. Ladies and gentlemen, spare a thought for the people who lived before the invention of the internet. Or worse, before the invention of the telephone. The only way they'd be able to stay in touch with one another is by writing a letter, which could take months to reach its recipient, and then, of course, they need to wait for a reply. When you left your hometown, it wasn't just about exploring somewhere new. There was also the when will I see my family again angle. Technology has changed all that. Now family members who live on the opposite sides of the world from one another can now video chat in real time as if they're in the same room. I honestly don't get the concern that technology is isolating us. I feel more connected than I ever would have had computers and the internet never been born. I interact with people on a daily basis, online and in person, than I could have had in previous decades. That's why I believe that technology is connecting people, not isolating people. By giving a very powerful and quick platform where they can share their thoughts and emotions, people are now able to share their information and skills without any restraints of distance. You can get the news and updates all over the world in just a snap. Blaming technology for isolation may simply make it a scapegoat for something that could have happened anyway, just because they're willing or able to connect with people in the way you want doesn't mean that they're isolating themselves. See, technology is like magic. Even through the telemedicine that millions of patients are connected to vital healthcare services through remote monitoring, electronic consults, and wireless communication, by giving access to specialists which ensures that the patients receive the right care at the right place at the right time. Through research and psychological studies, it has been found that loneliness is not only caused by technology. There are a number of different reasons that cause loneliness, like depression, anxiety, loss of love, shame, many more, etc. Audience, I would like to draw your attention by giving the positive role of technology in this regard. That it gives a better pastime and cheer activities to the downhearted souls. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to conclude by saying, don't fear technology, get connected, get comfortable connecting with your loved ones and beat anxiety and loneliness. Thank you.
Thank you, A5, for stating your opinions.
Let's put our hands together for F6.
Technology doesn't just do things for us, it does things to us, changing not just what we do, but who we are. Good morning to respected judges, member of the juries, my worthy opponents, and the lovely audience. It's 2019. In this era, it is impossible to do things without the use of technology. You can pay bills, manage bank account, and you can talk to people who are miles away from you. But the use of technology is decreasing person-to-person interaction with each other. We are living in 21st century. There are many ways to communicate, yet we are so alone. Instead of meeting someone in person or hanging out with them, people tend to text or use smartphones to talk to them. Nowadays, social gathering is only for clicking pictures. Earlier, people used to be very excited to meet their friends, cousins, play silly games all together. But now, it's only posting a picture with a hashtag is left. Lack of self-confidence because we are dependent on our social networking sites. I will look good only if I get 200 likes on that photo. Children are avoiding reading books and using search engines to get knowledge. Children are listening to stories on YouTube, which we used to listen from our grandparents. The time spent with grandparents was worth. That love and time has made us so strong human beings. And after so many years, the most important value they taught us is still with us. Nowadays, we all are comfortable in our home, in our own room with our gadgets. We don't want to interact with people who come to meet us, but we really enjoy having conversation with strangers on social networking sites. Choice is also an important decision that makes human alone. Suppose if you decide not to use technology and interact with someone, not everyone will do the same. Suppose if you are the person you are interacting and he is using technology as a distraction, it's pretty irritating. Nowadays, everyone has a mindset that anything can be done in just one click. Children have mindset that they can do anything by just fractions of seconds. But when they don't get, they expect the same from their life. But when they don't get, they feel rejected, depressed, and alone. I would like to sign out by saying that technology had made us busy, but our addiction to it made us isolated. Thank you.
Thank you, F6, for sharing your arguments.
Podium.
Technology is all about using the power of science to make life better for the world, to reduce costs, to improve productivity, and most of all, to connect and socialize easily. Assalamu alaikum and a fabulous morning to one and all. I'm present here to oppose the motion. Technology makes us more isolated. My worthy opponents, my dear friends, we are living on a planet where technology is not a myth, but a reality. Television, mobile phone, satellite, GPS system, and the list goes on. Yet, my opponents think we're isolated. Lend me your ears, my worthy opponents. From the depths of the oceans to infinity of space, home, or workplace, technology is constantly connecting people. Students to schools, executives to offices, clients to lawyers, leading sprinters of the race, and the list is endless. Yet my opponents think we're isolated. In this fast-paced life, if we had been living without technology, then imagine our mothers and sisters being in the kitchen 50 years back. We would not be seeing them for the whole day. But what is the difference when we compare it to today's society? I'll tell you. Washing machines, mixers, grinders, vacuum cleaners, and various other innovations help the mothers of the present, and they can now spend a lot of quality time with their families. Is that isolation? Tell me, my friends, does technology cause isolation in such a situation? I don't think so. Technology did not isolate us. In fact, it helped us to connect and communicate in ways it was never possible at all. Mass communication fields like television and media helped us to keep up with the world's revolutions. Technologies like satellite and space rovers helped us to break the barrier of isolation we had with the moon. Technology also helps the teachers to connect with the students and break the barrier of isolation. But some people in society are assuming that technology is going to replace the teachers. And I nullify to those superstitions with the words of George Couros. Technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be revolutionary. My fellow opponents, it's not technology that makes us sit on Netflix all day. It's not technology that makes us play games all day. It's our minds. As for the saying goes, a bad workman always blames his tools. In the end, my opponents are just playing a playing game with the technology is a scapegoat. And my opponents are the scholars. Nevertheless, I throw my humble heart towards you. From cities to towns, from executives to clowns, oceans to volcanoes, earth to space, macro or nano. This is the reality of technology, be it any place, any person, or in any form. Technology is all about creating thought. Thank you.
Thank you, E6. I invite F7 onto the stage to present her thoughts.
The night has passed, the sun has shone. Hurry up, it's time to open your phone. Cause if you don't, you might feel alone. Cause technology has made us so prone. Respected panel of jury, dignitaries, teachers and my beloved friends, Assalamu alaikum and a very beautiful morning to one and all. Today, I'm going to speak for the motion. Technology makes us more isolated. May I ask you, when was the last time you attended an actual family gathering? You received an upcoming wedding invitation personally? You bought something by actually going out and enjoying yourself? When was the last time? Why talk to people in real life when it's easier to sit in the corner and pay your bills, manage your account, do online shopping and order food at the tip of our fingers, right? This is exactly what has caused isolation. Let's go back to the time when technology didn't exist. People would sit together and have discussion before computers, tabs, laptops, mobiles were invented. There was a time when, if you wanted something and your friend would not lend it to you, you would have to buy it yourself. But at least you would get to check out piece by piece, fabric by fabric, bargaining with the shopkeeper and taking the opinion of your friends around you. But that's a talk of the past. Today, Jolly Chic and Amazon have taken over the kingdom of marketing. To play a game, you'd go to your local arcade armed with pockets full of quarters. Though you'd go home poorer, at least you'd enjoy that moment together with your friends. But that was until Subway Surfers and Talking Tom made an arrival. According to a research conducted by GSN Games Industry, 60% of respondents play online games daily causing fear, tension, loneliness, indifference, not to forget isolation. Once upon a time, family gatherings were something which we eagerly awaited for. But today, what you see is a room full of family members sitting together, glued to their mobile phones in their own realms of fantasy. Let's not forget the latest trend of today, vlogging. I'm 100% sure phones were allowed here in the school premises. Half of the audience would be vlogging right now. There are families that have these sweet get-togethers, that go out to enjoy themselves, that go on picnic and trips, but sadly, it's just for the sake of hashtag partying in Flamingo, hashtag family occasion, it's just for the sake of the camera. I welcome you all once again to the phenomenal world where we are slaves of the technology we once mastered. Technology is a queer thing. It brings a great gifts with one hand
and stab the back with the other. Thank you.
Thank you, F7.
Next in line to express his ideas is A7.
Man is a social animal, and communication is the lifeblood that connects people all over the world, and I have hard data to support this claim. According to the UN's latest global digital report, 57% of the world's population are internet users, and the Republic of Facebook is known to be the biggest country in the world, with 2.4 billion users. These staggering figures show that people use technology to connect rather than isolate. Honorable dignitaries, respected judges, and my worthy opponents. I'm chess number A7 and will be speaking against the motion. Now, in our modern world, people are mobile, moving globally for education, employment, and even as tourists. However, their hectic lifestyle often does not allow them to interact with their friends and family in person. With technology, however, they can stay connected with their near and dear ones without taxing their hectic schedules. Let us take the example of expats. While most of us are lucky enough to be living here as a family with our mother and father, think about those of us who are living here alone, with their families thousands of kilometers away. Without technology, they would have no way to contact their family. And that, my friends, that would be isolated. In fact, let's take the example of my grandmother. My grandmother in India, who's a very jovial person, very cheerful person, rages if there's any problem in her Wi-Fi or WhatsApp. Why, you ask? Because she uses these technological platforms to connect with her family spread across 3 different countries, further proving my point that technology is used to connect rather than isolate. I would also like to bring your attention to how technology can be used to bring people and rally them towards a common cause. During the Arab Spring, social media brought people together in places such as Libya, Tunisia, and Egypt, and helped them to overthrow their oppressive governments. In fact, the first thing that ruling governments resort to during political unrest is taking away people's technology, their phone lines, their internet. To do what? My friends, it is to isolate them. If we look around us, we can see millions of people isolated physically from the world due to war, like in Syria, or as a consequence of natural disasters, like Hurricane Dorian in the US, or the Amazon forest fires. Without technology, they would suffer alone and they would have been isolated from the world because no one would know what's happening to them. However, thanks to news sites such as BBC, CNN, and NDTV, their plight has been heard by the world and the world has responded accordingly. Now at the end, I would like you to close your eyes and imagine yourself in a world where there is no technology, no internet, and no phone lines. Now you tell me, do you feel connected or do you feel isolated? Thank you.
Thank you, A7, for sharing your perceptions.
Let us now welcome F8.
Don't start with technology, because technology is nothing but a solution searching for a problem. Respected dignitaries, honorable members of the jury, of course my worthy opponents, and all the listeners, a very pleasant morning to one and all present here. Today, I stand before you for speaking for the topic, technology makes us more isolated. Technology has transformed the way we live, work, communicate, and entertain ourselves. At a click of a button, we can conduct transactions, get information, learn new skills, and even find love. But technology did not only change that, but also the way our brain receives and processes information. Living in the digital age, we come to rely on technology one way or the other. But how many of us pay attention to the fact that technology is behind what is affecting all of our behavior, lives, and relationships? Thanks to the oh so amazing technology, we have a shorter attention span now. According to studies, the average attention span of an average human 8 seconds. Oh, come on, people. Even a goldfish has an attention span of 9 seconds. That is 1 second longer than us, right? Technology makes us become socially, our society become unsocial. We always plug into our phones and forget about the outside world. But admit the fact that you are always guilty for stopping all of your work just to check your phone when it beeps, or just stealing a few minutes to check people's Instagram story or Facebook feed. I know. There is a certain pleasure you get when you get new notifications and messages. That's why you compulsively check your phone throughout the day, blissfully scrolling down these pages. The reason behind this is simple. Tech has a gratification that stimulates pleasure in our brain, keeping us coming back for more. Imagine this. You're with your friends, and at some point you always notice that all of you are staring at the screen rather than each other's faces. Of course, you will interact. For what? For taking a selfie, posting on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. We can always thank technology for turning us into educated zombies. I feel terrible for those children who were born in this digital age because they do not develop any communication skill and cannot read social cues. Technology might be an obedient servant, but a really dangerous master. I conclude by saying that the world will come to a change when we see it with our own eyes rather than the screen. Thank you.
Thank you, F8, for presenting your valuable thoughts.
I now call upon A8 to take over the podium. Technology connects us, technology unites us, technology amplifies our power. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to my dear judges, my fellow competitors and everyone present here. Some people say that technology has isolated us. I couldn't disagree more to this topic. Technology is not at all isolating us. People isolate people. People isolate themselves by overusing technology. Technology should always be used for a proper purpose. Technology is always good for us. But what we do, we don't use technology in a proper way. We always misuse it. There's a famous quote said by R. Fuller: humanity is using the greatest technology for the most strong purposes. Technology is like a knife. Technology is like a knife. When we use knife properly, you won't get your hands cut or you won't hurt yourself. But if you don't use technology in a proper way, what would happen? You would really get hurt. You would really get isolated. Just think. Technology is not about bringing only individuals together. It brings communities. You and I wouldn't be sitting here if there was no technology. Technology brings us all together in a single line. Technology plays a very essential part in our lives. Technology needs to see, just we're sitting in any other countries. We all are Indians. Just think the Prime Minister of India is posting a Twitter message. He is posting, it's maybe a 2-line message. But millions of Indians read it around the world. Just in minutes. This is how technology brings us Indians together. We all are connected. We all are connected by our technology. Everyone has been connected. Thank you. Thank you, A8.
I call upon F9 to present his viewpoint.
Have so much to thank technology for today. Life is easier, more convenient, and faster than ever before. But, ladies and gentlemen,
Today, let us open our eyes, ears, and minds to consider at what cost we have brought forth this lifestyle. Respected vibrant panel of judges, dynamic audience, and not to forget my worthy opponents. A fantabulous morning to one and all present here. Let me begin by making it clear that I am not undermining the role that technology has played in transforming human life. But, dear worthy opponents, till when will we remain oblivious to the role that technology has played in combining the antithetical terms, society and isolation? Blinded by the dubious efficiency of the technology that we own, engrossed in highlighting the so-called best of our lives on social media, and afraid of missing out on the distressing advancement that we are moving towards. We, all of us, have wretchedly compromised the moment we are living in. The technology that we own has made us believe that, has made us to avoid and separate ourselves from the rest on our own self. We have reached a fatal stage of our false progress where, if we look at the face of surroundings, you'll see nobody but the malicious figure of our own isolation. A research by the University of Pittsburgh has reported that people spending more than 2 hours of their time a day on technology has twice the odds of facing isolation than those who spend a half hour a day. With great power comes great responsibility. And if technology has made us powerful enough, then it has surely made us responsible enough to create and spread our own isolation blindly. Technology has made us believe that everything should be done within a fraction of seconds. We expect the same from our life, and when we don't get it, we feel depressed, alone, and rejected, and we even commit suicide. Professor Ian Hickey of the University of Sydney said that social isolation was perhaps the most important factor contributing to male suicide attempts. He also said that there was a wealth of evidence that men had more restricted social networks than women, and all these networks were heavily work-based. To be honest, we have certainly lost our way. Just because of the 10-letter modern discovery technology, which is nothing but texting over talking, easy accessibility, comparison, high-speed access, nature disconnection, outrage, likes and followers, on-screen, global over local interaction, and finally, remember that you are being targeted. Thank you.
Thank you, F9.
Last but not the least, I call upon A9 to the stage.
Technology is a useful servant or a dangerous master. Honorable faculty and members of the House, today I'm standing in front of you as an ambassador of technology, as a supporter of technology, as a person who has passion in technology, and of course to defend technology from the topic technology makes us isolated. It is insane that till the end of 1960s, people were using weird stuff, so weird stuff such as pigeons to send their messages. Who thought about that idea? First of all, how did they know that those letters will be received by the respective people? And how much time will it take? Lovely pigeons, they will wait for long, getting lost here and there, gathering. So, when technology got developed, communication became easier, faster, smoother, and even better than before. Respected judges, I would like to ask you a question. How did you know about this competition? Wasn't it through technological communication? The proposition says that technology makes us isolated. But let's not forget social media. Why were they named social media if they were separating people from each other? Wouldn't they financially become unstable? Now let's stay away from the issue of social media. Let's turn into India, our motherland. India suffers from a big issue, which is unemployment. As we are here to discuss about the issue of technology, we people, the IIT Bombay website, which is the Indian Institute of Technology website, stated that 85.21 of the BTech students have secured jobs, which will decrease the rate of unemployment in India. And that's true. Respected opponents, there are 16 IIT institutions in India, of course. So, do you tell me that those parents are like, no, son, don't go to there. You will be isolated, you will be alone, no one will be with you. The schools contain many students. How does those people will be similar? Thank you.
Thank you, A9.
With that, we have reached the end of the first session of the much-heated debate. Now, it's time to move on to the next session, that is the rebuttal round. Now, the talented debaters will take over the podium to countervail the arguments presented by their worthy opponents.
Before that, we would like to remind everyone briefly about the rules for the rebuttal. The speakers will be given a 5-minute interval for the preparation of the rebuttal, of which you will be notified. Each speaker will be given 1 minute 30 seconds for the rebuttal. Rebuttal is the countervailing of the evidences presented by their opponents and should not be an extension of their main speeches.
So use your time wisely and make the best use of it. It is also our humble request to the audience to maintain silence as the participants prepare their rebuttal speeches. Participants, your time starts now.
To start this counter-argument session, I call upon F1 to express her assertions.
So, we heard all the points of our opposing team. So, they talked about one of the friends here. They said that everything happens with just a click. If everything happens with just a click, then what will be the meaning of the world? Will it be that so much fun? Okay, everything can happen with a click. That does not bother me. And also one more point. If a prime minister has sent a message and on the days before, Gandhiji have brought 5,000 people together to march for something, and then a prime minister would have just posted a post. That is not right. And nowadays people do not just have technology just for the sake of like going out, gathering together. Now people just go out together just for the hashtag, I went there, and I went there. Everybody just now thinks about this, thinks about technology. They need technology just for what I went and I did like that. People do not want gatherings. Nobody is wanting gatherings nowadays. And can technology cook for us? Mothers, can technology really cook for us our food? Can technology make us a biryani, right? It's not possible, of course. So how can it be like technology can be done with everything? So technology is also right. It is a knife. Technology is a knife. And how cannot it be a knife if it causes depression to us? Thank you.
Thank you, F1.
I once again request A1 to come and present her rebuttal. His rebuttal.
Good morning once again. I think I feel pity for my innocent opponents to hear my words. One of my worthy opponents said that smartphone addiction causes depression, etc. To be honest, I see smartphones as an instrument. Not the instrument which we use in music and all, but the instrument which that enables interaction that weren't just possible before. Connecting us with the people whom we matter the most, regardless how far they are, via Instagram, Twitter, and other services. Some opponents say that if you want to interact with people, you should interact with the ones around you. Shall I ask you a question? Is it so bad to prefer talking with a long-distance partner using a smartphone than with someone who does not interest me but happens next to me? Come on guys, even you disagree. I'm happy seeing my friends to take photos of their food, clicking on hashtags. To be honest, I like seeing my friends taking photos of my food. Because there is a chef in the back of the kitchen who works hard to plate things beautifully, or even in any other situation, people dive in immediately and ruin that image. But who knows? Even if I was the chef, I would go digging through Instagram to see my plate over there. I don't get that. Is it wrong to create a permanent memento of an otherwise temporary experience, to capture a photo, the work of the people in the back of the kitchen, to make the food look attractive? Thank you.
Thank you, A1, for showcasing your arguments.
I request F2 to take over the podium.
Good morning once again. As one of my worthy opponents has stated, technology is used to make us the masters of the world. Really? Because it seems that we're the servants of technology, not masters. Technology influences people to become more social, but I don't find the necessity to text your friend who's sitting right across the room in the same room as you are. It is said that technology is used to bring us together, but technology has developed a sense of fear in people. Fear of judgments and low self-esteem. You meet new people and the first question you ask is, do you have Instagram? This does not bring us together, but is creating barriers. We have lost the sense of expressing. We use emojis and emoticons to express ourselves, and when it comes to reality, scared that people will judge me, so I'll just hide behind the screen. I'm not questioning your facts, my dear opponents. I'm just denying its existence. Talk about cyber hacking. Are you the same person when it comes to technology? Socializing with people from around the world. 14-year-old girl talking to a boy, not knowing that he's a 45-year-old man. You can find many children mature enough for their age. How? Because they wanted to search for information regarding their studies, but get distracted by other things. Too much focus on technology, my worthy opponents. You have forgotten the difference between being alone and being lonely. Thank you.
Thank you, F2, for your statements.
I call upon A2 to present her side of the argument.
Dear listeners, I have an advice. Do not let these opponents muddle your minds with half-truths and half-lies. Honorable panel of judges, lovely and brilliant audience, and of course, my worthy opponents who bring out the best in me. A very bright morning to everyone once again. When did I actually attend a family gathering? My dear opponent, last Thursday. Now here's the actual fact. How is it organized? Through Facebook. My opponents confidently talked about how longer hours in front of the screen distracts a person. My dear opponent, the human mind decides if we want to spend the time, not the technological devices. Everyone speaking here today, it's obvious that we use technology to convey our speeches. How many of you got isolated while doing your research? Lack of self-confidence. Dear audience, dear ladies, dear gents in the audience, we all know the empowering comments we get down in our Instagram posts, don't we? How longer are we going to remain oblivious to the fact that before technological devices, we used to bury our minds into books. It used to isolate us. When will we stop claiming just technology isolates us? It connects us. It's common sense that a better way of connection does not mean anyone is being disconnected. That's the facts, my dear listeners. Thank you.
Thank you, A2.
Now I invite F3 for stating her opinions.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You must have heard an entertaining story from the other side. A cheesy story made up of Swiss cheese. But as you know, Swiss cheese wouldn't be Swiss cheese without the holes. Now, allow me to say the whole story. One of my opponents have stated that it's a quick platform to share thoughts and emotion. Really, my opponents, sharing the artificial life of science is not what you call sharing thoughts and emotion. Can you just post your daily basis problems on Instagram? No. And for instance, if you posted also, nobody would be interested in your boring life. Think about it, my opponent. Isn't it a false belief of my opponent that technology removes isolation when family members are far away? Even though technology connects us and help us to communicate, but it still adds to our own isolation. We are human beings. We crave intimacy. It's in our DNA to be connected emotionally and physically. Tech-saturated world has just converted human interaction into bits and bytes. There was also an argument that technology is contributing very little to the isolation. Thank you, opponent, to agree with my point that it's contributing to isolation. Now listen. According to a study conducted by Brigham Young University in 2018, found that 46% of the world population feel isolated and 39 agree that overuse of social media was the main cause for isolation. Now my worthy opponents can understand how much this technology is contributing to isolation. If the great internet connects us, then why are so many of us becoming increasingly isolated? Being brainless is a privilege, but please don't abuse it, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, F3, for stating your ideas.
Next to convey his standpoint is A3.
But what's not well is listening to my worthy opponents argue against technology, whereas, if not all, most of them might have been to their home country this summer vacation to meet their family and friends. And that wouldn't have been possible without the use of technology. But one of my opponents argued about people spending 4 hours straight playing PUBG or Fortnite. My dear audience, do you think playing PUBG or Fortnite with hundreds of your friends from all over the world in any means isolating us? Well, I do believe my worthy opponents have done some research. But I've done some more. The US survey reveals that 89% of people use Facebook, 75% of people use Instagram, 78% of people use Twitter, and 90% of people use WhatsApp to stay connected with each other. It averages out that 87% of people using technology stay connected, but still my worthy opponents argue that technology makes us isolated. Respected members of the jury and ladies and gentlemen, the difference between my worthy opponents and a pen is that a pen has a point, but they don't.
Thank you, A3.
Now I call upon F4 to express her disagreements.
Good morning once again. My worthy opponents talked a lot about technology, but they left out a few facts. Don't worry. Sex trafficking, human trafficking, from child pornography on the dark web to cyberbullying on social media. Wait, it does not end there. Environmental pollution, depletion of natural because I used technology. I didn't let technology be the basis and the nature of my life. And I feel pity for my brainwashed, technologically brainwashed opponents. My opponent also mentioned a story about a family function. And in this technologically addicted era, the only reason someone would show up for a family function is either free Wi-Fi or free food. My opponents are so technologically brainwashed that hashtag I'm the one feeling pity for them. Thank you.
Thank you, F4, for sharing your thoughts.
Please welcome A4 to present her views.
Good morning once again. As many of my worthy opponents have said, that if technology takes over the world one day, it will be our fault. It will be technology's fault. But I say that if technology takes over the world one day, it wouldn't be technology's fault, but how we use it. Let me ask you, why do you want to wait for a letter to arrive when you can send an email instantly? Why wait for a couple of weeks, paddling yourself across the sea when you can fly over it? And believe me, it's not just that. I would like to ask my opponents that today, when scientists and engineers across the globe are working hard to get us to the moon and to enable us to live on other planets, do you still want to be debating about the social isolation caused by technology? Believe me, technology is all around us. Perhaps you're able to hear my voice out there because of technology. As my worthy opponents have said, that technology causes loss of jobs. But have you thought enough? Because technology gives people more job opportunities than ever and helps in more production. According to a survey by Pennsylvania, people who have smartphones have 82% more social connection with the people around them. And as my worthy opponents have said, that technology results in global warming. But I don't think so. Thank you.
Thank you, A4, for your valuable arguments.
I call F5 to share her notion on the argument.
Good morning once again. First of all, I just want to say one thing. In technology, we have become the products where people attribute value to us with likes and followers. One of the opponents said that in just one click, you know what's happening in the entire world. So I think, what is my mama doing in my house? No one knows. We are all fixed with this phone. We don't know what's happening in the world. Just fix the phone and don't know into it, like addictors. All of us there, we have many virtual friends, like 100K, 1000K, and many more. Can you tell me how many of them are fake and how many are real? We do not know. And there are so many victims of cybercrime, cyberstalking, and many things. Why do you see that? And then PUBG, an amazing game of the youngsters. So how many have become addicted to it? How many deaths have reported? Yes, it's deaths caused because of this game. It's quite natural. And health of technology, it has caused advance. So the same it's caused, it caused destruction too. Why don't you see that either? So I just want to say one thing. My Wi-Fi got switched off. So I had to talk to my parents. They were quite nice people. This is the current scenario in every house. Thank you.
Thank you, F5.
Now I would like to invite A5 onto the stage.
A very warm morning once again. So, my worthy opponent has said that 24% children below 5 years were neglected physically by parents as parents are too busy with their noses in phones. Are you sure about that, my worthy opponents? But for your information, there is a study that loneliness can increase your risk of dying by 26%, according to a recent study. Research has shown that it was due to 0% of interaction with people, which could lead to depression, and living alone can respectively increase mortality risk by 29% and 32%. According to the people, recent research indicates that this may be the next biggest public health issue on par with obesity and depression. Where 1.7 billion people live on this earth, and there are 95% of people who believe that technology is amazing, but only 5% of people think that it's isolating us. If those 5% of people think that it's isolating us, so please, don't use technology ever again in your life. It's better if you just leave technology. Thank you.
Thank you, A5.
Here is F6 to express his beliefs.
Good morning once again. First of all, I would like to say my worthy opponents that raise your words, not your voice. We are more focused on talking to someone who is miles away from us rather than who is next to you. Some people who don't have self-control used to be very healthy first, but because now the addiction of smartphones, they are suffering from diseases such as eye problem, depression and loneliness. The biggest communication problem is that we don't listen to understand, we listen to reply. It's common that technology has made us alone because when we meet our friends, they are busy texting someone else. But I think that common sense is not that common on this side of the stage. My worthy opponent said that it's easy to communicate with family and friends, but I would like to say that nowadays it's only possible on social networking sites and PUBG. I would like to end by saying that the difference between technology and slavery is that slaves are fully aware that they are not free. Thank you.
Thank you, F6.
Next in line to express his viewpoint is A6.
Once again, a pleasant morning to one and all. First of all, I'd like to remind my opponents that iPhones, iPads, tablets and laptops are not the only technology in this world. My worthy opponents, if technology isolates us, then you shouldn't have used this mic. You should have told the authorities to switch off the lights and switch off these ACs. You know why? Because it could have saved a lot of energy and money. My dear friends, technology is not the factor we should blame. It's human or Homo sapiens. Yes, we are the villains. We are the most intelligent creatures on the planet. And it's a shame when we say we can't control our own emotions and our creations. My fellow opponents are on the side of criticism. But let me tell you, you don't need an IQ of 100 to know what is bad and what is good. All you need is common sense, and common sense is one thing that my opponents are lacking. You know one thing that my opponents are not, you know another thing that my opponents are lacking? Optimism. Negativity is the most filled thing in the society, and that's why you're criticizing technology. Why can't you encourage optimism? The saddest part is that my opponents are not realizing that technology is just a tool. We are the owners, and it's our choice whether we want to say #no filters, #Instagram. Thank you.
Thank you, A6.
Now I call upon F7 to present her thoughts.
Assalamu alaikum. My dear opponents, hats off to you. One of my opponents very strongly believes that due to the invention of modern day appliances like washing machine grinders, mothers can spend quality family time with their family. Now tell me, my dear opponent, if every member of the family, starting from the grandmother to the toddler, has their noses stuck in a gadget, where and with whom will the mother spend quality family time? With the walls around her? One of my opponents so strongly believes that cells can spell a difference between life and death. That's why when somebody's at the brink of death, instead of attempting to save them, they take out their phone and click photographs. So simple, right? One of my opponents believes that technology makes us smarter. That's why instead of solving 2 plus 2 with our brains, kids are opting for the calculator. Technology helps us to connect with family and friends. That's right. When our families are abroad, we are so concerned with talking to them, but when they are right next to us, a stranger from Instagram living thousands of miles away is our priority, right? Technology allows us to express ourselves. You're right. That's why instead of flashing a beautiful smile at a human, we opt for sending a smiley emoji. In the end, I would like to apologize to my dear opponents for not agreeing with them. I'd agree with you, but then we both would be wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, F7.
Next to convey his insight is A7.
Welcome back, everyone. I want to address some claims that my opponents have made. Now, you guys have been talking about how technology isolates. Well, I would just like to say one thing to you. Practice what you preach. Right? You guys say that technology is the reason for isolation. It is not. It is human intention. How is technology answerable for your actions? It is the user who chooses to stay on technology and talk to people in America rather than putting the phone down and talking to their family right in front of them. How many of us live in joint families? I'm pretty sure none of us. Why do we live in nuclear families? Is it because we have a smartphone in our hand? Is it because technology is restricting us? No. Again, it is the user's intention. And it is because the lifestyle of the world has changed. People are more ambitious. They are more busy. They lead a more hectic lifestyle. Their physical interaction, their ability to interact physically is not really that developed as they don't have enough time. Let me ask you one more question. My opponent said that you are physically isolated in places such as restaurants. Would you really go up to a stranger and go ask him and start to talk to him? Would you really ask and start a conversation with someone you barely know? What would be better? Talking to your friend who you've known for years, who's sitting in America, or some random person who you barely know? He could be anything. He could be kidnapped, he could be a murderer. You wouldn't know. So at the end, I would like to conclude by saying technology is a tool. It can be used for good or bad, but you cannot use it to justify your actions. Thank you.
Thank you, A7.
I'll call upon F8 to enlighten us with her views.
Every morning in the school, when we enter our classroom, we always hear this mess. Do you know Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello did a collaboration together? Do you know BTS are going to come to Riyadh? Do you know James Charles did a makeover of Halloween? A report from Nielsen states that when we factor in all media tech, people are using 10.5 hours every single day consuming media. That is 10.5 hours out of every 24 zone in the screen, not talking to anybody, not socializing, engrossed in people's lives rather than living our own. Come on, every girl here. Life on social media is hard, right? Doing makeup, posting and all. But in the end, you will get stuck with a guy saying after 2 days, be my girlfriend. You're really pretty. Technology is insidious, addictive, and all-consuming. The people of the isolation delivers reward. One of the opponents said that we in a restaurant we won't go and talk to strangers and rather talk to a friend in America. Isn't that what we are doing on social media, talking to strangers? Do you blindly trust people on social media? Is that socializing? Are they really considered as my friend? Like it can be a harasser, assaulter, hacker, anything. Why do you trust them? And now you're saying that in a restaurant you won't go and talk to people? That's the same thing. On social media you're doing the same thing, blindly trusting people. This is a cause of cyberbullying. You do not trust people blindly. Thank you.
Thank you, F8, for your valid arguments.
Now, I would like to invite A8 onto the stage for presenting her rebuttal.
Good morning to one and all again. Many of my fellow competitors said about cyberbullying, cyberstalking and many other like this. Why does this all occur? Because you're giving your information on unwanted platforms. Why do you do this? It's your mistake. It's totally wrong to blame technology for it. One of my friends also said about the Dandi March by Gandhiji. But here I would like to say another march which happened in January 21, 2017. It was the Women's March in America. It was such a huge march. It consisted of 4.4 million people and 6 million people all around the world. This all happened just because of a single Facebook post. No one even thought of such a big post, such a big march. But it became such a revolutionary march. My fellow competitor also said about people being isolated in public places, like in cars, buses, trains. But that's not the case. They say that people are staring into the phones and are only in phones and not noticing the people around them. But even before the technology evolved, people used to stare at books, newspapers, looking outside the window, but still they don't talk to the person next to them. This isolation already was there before, but it's really not caused by technology. Thank you.
Thank you, A8.
I would like to call upon F9 to express his assertions.
A very good morning once again. One of my worthy opponents said that technology helps us to connect with faraway people, but that's just the case of opting global over local interaction. Those people might have all the time in the world to know what's happening around the globe, but does not have the same amount of time to know what's happening at the local surroundings. Does that sound good, dear worthy opponents? And another one of my worthy opponents said that technology increases the people to be socially active, but that's just a matter of fact that too much usage of anything makes a person enslaved and dependent on it. The person might be a social animal online, but offline they will be socially isolated, depressed, anxious, psychotic, traumatic, and the list goes on. Another one of my worthy opponents said that technology brings joy and success to our life. Oh, come on. 77% of people during a study responded believe that society as a whole relied too much on technology to succeed. Some responded that 90% of kids 30 years ago were enjoying nature and playing outdoors. Now the same amount of kids are staying indoors and playing video games. Isn't that isolating us? Even though it brings some joy to us, it never brings any success. Does it, my worthy opponents? I hope they are clear with it. And another one of my worthy opponents said that to technology, you'll always have someone to console you. But let me ask you, does quality ever equal quantity? I hope my worthy opponents are sensible enough to turn over their mindset. Thank you.
Thank you, F9.
Let us now welcome A9.
Is saying the word good morning to the people we love a fool? Is saying good morning to the lovable world we love a fool? Is being one of the happiest person in this world a fool? Honorable judges, once again, good morning to one and all. I am back to defend the word technology. Now, everyone from our opponents said that PUBG and Fortnite, which are an entertainment game, makes us isolated. But I'll tell you something, those games give us an ability to communicate between us, we and those people. That's a true fact. And this is their responsibility, the people who play the game, if they want to play with their friends or not. I'll give you an example too. Sometimes when I go to my friend's house and I knock the door, his father may be like, no, he's studying. No, he's doing stuff. No, he went to the store. I can't find him. So I do not have any way to enjoy except play these games. I'm a person who do not have all of phone. Communication for us helps us to have social confidence. And as I said, and as you seen at the last speech, I do not know how to end my speech. Hence, thank you.
Thank you, A9, for expressing your viewpoint.
With this, we come to the end of an exciting debate session with a convincing display of ideas and expressions. Please put your hands together for all our participants, appreciating their hard work and dedication. A wholehearted appreciation to all the talented participants.
I repeat, F1 Afra Al-Noor from Talal International School, Jeddah. F2 Safura Kulsum from Al-Falah International School, DPS. F3 Hasiba Anjum from Jabal Farasan International School. F4 Amal Abdul from Noble International Indian School. F5 Krishna Priya Goban from Radwa International School, Yambu. F6 Muhammad Ali International Indian School, Taif. F7 Zaina Latif International Indian School, Jeddah. F8 Asia Tamakkal Al-Mawarid Leading International School, Jeddah. F9 Mohammad Nihal from New Al-Burud International School, Jeddah.
The participants of the against team are A1 Aziz Abu Tahir International Indian School, Taif. A2 Alia New Al-Burud International School. A3 Muhammad Harun Al-Falah International School, India. A4 Hansa Siddiqa Noble International Indian School. A5 Talha Ayub Ali Jabal Farasan International School, Rabin. A6 Fahim International Indian School, Jeddah. A7 Rayyan Ashar Radwa International School, Yampu. A8 Muhammad Sharifa Jamila Talal International School, Jeddah. A9 Ali Umar Humad Muhammad Usman Al-Mawarid Leading International School, Jeddah.
A huge round of applause for all the participants. introduce our distinguished panel of jury. Our judges for the day are Professor Anwar Bilgami from the United States of America, who is working as a professor of biology and scientific research advisor in the King Abdulaziz University, Jeddah. Prior to joining King Abdulaziz University, Professor Bilgami was working as a professor of biology at the prestigious Rutgers University in New Jersey, USA. He has successfully looked after various scientific research programs, research grants, research awards, international collaborations, policy matters, etc. at the King Abdulaziz University. His academic career has involved many events and programs to improve scientific aptitude and temperament of students, both at the school and university levels. Professor Bilgami is always energized to speak in his domain on various aspects of public interest. His interest in sharing scientific knowledge and developing scientific aptitude at all levels of students makes him easily accessible individual. I'm sure that sharing his experiences with our students will significantly impact our thoughts, attitude and temperament towards academics, especially biology. Freedom is hammered out on the anvil of discussion, dissent and debate. May I now invite Professor Bilgami, member of the esteemed panel of judges, to share his thoughts on the event.
Good afternoon, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. I am actually getting nervous. Why I am getting nervous? Because before me there were a lot of good speakers over here, and they have expressed their thoughts in such a way that I was thinking when I would go on the dais, what I would be speaking against them or in favor of them. But I think all of them have done very well. So I am compelled to speak in favor of them. I have nothing to talk about to oppose them. Well, all the participants did well, and I congratulate them, all of them, for putting as much effort as they could. Of course, every time it looks good when you hear good things, but being a professor, I have to be a bad guy sometimes for the students to teach them something good. Well, they talked about technology. Technology is not good. Technology may be the right thing to do. What I found missing in their, deliberations is that all of them were focused only on mobile phones, iPads, which definitely shows that all of them are very fond of mobile phones and iPads. So in view of that, it's not a criticism, it's a suggestion for the school management and the committee who has decided the two topics. I'm still happy. I would have been more happy if the topic of technology makes us isolated. Instead of this topic, if the topic would have been technology is for creativity. Why I am saying that? Because this topic has a bit of negativity. Technology for creativity gives a positive thought, where these students could have got a chance to think positively that how technology can be developed in your daily life to create new ideas, to innovate, new gadgets for the betterment of the humankind and the society. So this is not a criticism, it is just a suggestion which probably you would take kind-heartedly. I don't have much to say because I know after probably another 20 minutes the bell will ring and I'll be disqualified, which I don't want to be. But I really want to thank you all the students of the school management, principal, teachers, a big thank you for giving me such a big honor to invite me over here. And, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts.
Our next judge is Mr. Siraj Wahab, the managing editor at Arab News. He has been with Saudi Arabia's leading English daily for more than 2 decades. He has the singular distinction of having covered the annual Hajj for 15 consecutive years for Arab News. Among his achievements are his reports, diaries and interviews from the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. He has written extensively on South Asian and Middle Eastern affairs and was invited for a guest lecture at American University in Washington, D.C. in March 2008. His articles are regularly published in the Diplomat magazine that is published by the Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Before joining Arab News in January 1997, he was the chief sub-editor for 3 years at Bombay Midday. He comes from Aurangabad in Maharashtra but has spent most of his professional life in Mumbai. He holds an MA in English literature. May I now invite Mr. Siraj Wahab to share his thoughts.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Respected Dr. Muzaffar Hussain, the principal of this wonderful institution where we are seated in the wonderful auditorium, Madam Farha, the vice principal of girls section and the force behind the success of this institution, the vice principal, Dr. Nadeem Sahab, Mr. Naufal, teachers, and dear young friends. A question that was asked by my little daughter was, Abuji, are you on IG? And I was completely flummoxed. And I don't know what is IG. He said, you don't know what is IG? I said, no, I'm completely unaware of what is IG. He said, it's called Instagram. And being an editor of Arab News, if you are not on Instagram, then you are next to nothing. I said, why? Because that has become, our presence on social media has become the barometer of how successful we are. It is the social media that weighs our importance in society, and that is really a good thing and also a bad thing. I came here to this debate with a very open mind to understand what is the young generation is thinking about, whether technology is making them isolated or is empowering them. There were pluses and minuses on the left and on the right, but the quality of debate was fantastic. And more fantastic than the quality of the debate was the fabulous reception that you gave with your thunderous applauses at regular intervals. A debate will not be complete unless and until there is an active participation from the people. We all come, we all watch the proceedings in our parliament, we all watch the debates that take place on our television stations. We go there with an open mind. Of course, we have a point of view, but we want to be enlightened by the other point of view. And everything depends on the power of persuasion. The girls and the boys on the right and also on the left, with their remarkable persuasive power, have tried to sway our minds on their side, and when the turn came for the other side, we swayed on the other side. This is the beauty of the debate. Debates are not to win. Debates are not to lose. Debates are all about how they enhance our knowledge. They tell us how people out there think about a certain point of view. To the girl, perhaps on my left, who suddenly stopped in the middle, completely went blank. And I want to tell her, the fact that you mustered the courage of coming onto this dais, on this dais, is the biggest victory of yours. You came here. You conquered your fears. Professor Bilgrami just told you how nervous he was when he came onto the dais. It's very difficult when 1,000 eyes are focused on you to collect your thoughts, to express your thoughts, and to make sense of whatever you are talking about. So I applaud the girl who may not be a winner because there were certain parameters in the sheet that was given to us. And because of that, she might not win, but she won our hearts by coming up to the dance. Young friends, life is not about victory and loss. Life is all about how we go ahead in life by conquering our fears, by making sense of our failure, and trying to be a better person every single day. Within our newspaper where I come from, the media, where technology has created complete havoc, we don't know how to face this challenge. Every single day, nobody is reading a newspaper. We are reaching out to the readership through our social media platforms, whether it is Twitter or Facebook or anything else. It has completely disrupted, but without this technology, it would have been very difficult for us to give you the most accurate news in the shortest possible time. So the technology is both an empowering tool, and at the same time it can also create conflict. But we are all in a learning curve. We did not know when technology was there, when technology was not there, how to deal at a time when technology is everywhere. I feel myself ill-equipped to comment on this particular topic because the young generation is completely swayed by the new technology. They have embraced the new technology, and I tell them that use technology to the fullest. Let everybody use technology. Let everybody use the new tools of communication. Everybody should feel empowered. The current movements that have taken place in the world, it's all thanks to technology, and without technology we wouldn't have been so connected with the outside world as we are. To those who are opposing each other, I must tell you that never get cowed down or bullied by the opposing forces, because there is a very famous couplet which says, "Tundiye Bade Mukhalif se na ghabra e khab." Tundiye Badiye Mukhalif se na ghabra e khab. Ye to chanti hai tujhe uncha udane ke liye. The peregrine that flies in the sky flies against the current of the wind, because the wind gives it the puff and it glides down, making soaring high. And that is exactly when somebody opposes you, you must take comfort in the fact that you have made a very valid point. I must thank the school management, my fellow judges. It was a very tough debate. We have done what we could have done. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations also to the people who have not made it, because you have made it to the stage. That is a success in itself. Thank you very much, Madam Farha. Thank you very much, Dr. Muzaffar Hussain. And thank you very much, all the teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words.
Our next judge is Mrs. Fatima Ali. She is the Vice President of Meet at a Center in Saudi Arabia and UAE. She is the Program Director of the leading full-time progression route program, LTAD MA in Education, offered by the University of Derby, UK and LRN, a UK accredited body. Her core expertise is teacher training and education leadership. Having more than 15 years of national and international teaching experience, she is currently a candidate for her PhD in Education Leadership and Management from a leading UK university. Mrs. Fatma has won several awards such as the Best Business Leader in the field of Education Management and has been nominated to receive the award for Outstanding Women in Education for 2019 this year. May I now invite Mrs. Fatma Ali to share her opinions.
Okay, so Assalamualaikum. It's still morning, and as an educator, I'm going to drill you guys today. First of all, I've done this a lot of times. I mean, over 10 times in a year, I present in conferences, do workshops, but then I'm here because my husband was awake all night working on a project, so that technological app basically saved my life. And it also helps me get my news through conversation, so that kind of works as well. And if we are looking into the 21st century, we have our own liberty. Let's not forget the STEM and the STEAM, which are the most important modes of education. STEM, science, T stands for what? Technology, right? So that is one of the bases when it comes to education delivery. But at the same time, we are looking at moderation. Media itself has used and abused technology, so it is up to us to decide whether to use or abuse, whether to remain isolated, whether to communicate with the world. I have met my teachers after 25 years on Facebook. Isn't this amazing? My 5th grade teacher, I just found her on Facebook, maybe it was 3 weeks ago. Then I found my arts teacher, again on Facebook, 2 weeks ago. So you can see how it is bringing us together, and the fact that our teachers, they still remember us, that's the human element of it. And the fact that technology is actually connecting us, that's the technological element of it. So it's like a necessary evil, isn't it? So, if you're looking at something else, so we're not looking at those excuses anymore. My dog ate my homework, my files are lost, we're not looking at that anymore. What we're looking at right now is a more efficient way to utilizing your time, your life, but not compromising your values at the same time. So, I'd like to thank International School Jeddah for calling me as one of the prestigious judges. It's an honor, really. And the fact that I am a 2002 alumni of the school, however, never been in touch with the school for a very long time until Mrs. Farash invited me as a judge speaker. I've been a judge for quite a few debates in different schools. So with IISJ, it was a refreshing feeling. It was coming back to where I left the institution. All thanks to my alma mater. And I'd like to thank this institution for blessing me with wonderful mentors, and last but not the least, integrating the fundamental principles of education and life. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. I would now request our esteemed member of the Managing Committee, Dr. Prince Mufti Zia ul Hassan, to share his views.
Very good morning to all of you. First of all, I would like to congratulate for all the participations who have delivered their best. Such an amazing judges here and such a fabulous participants. They are not much to speak. I would like to just suggest a few things to my children that debating is a skill, as very truly the madam has said. When we debate, try to make points, not to insult the other team. Okay? If you are making a good point for creating a livelihood to the debate is good. You sometimes make a little fun, but sometimes it is very early stage for all of you. So try to make the strongest point with most humble manner. Okay? So maybe you will get cheers from the audience when you make fun of others, but it will cost you if you make a habit of making fun of others in your working atmosphere. So it was a very, and for the topic, I have full sympathy with you, because if you are talking for against, for the topic, most creative manner. Thanks to the school for organizing such fabulous and very creative events. This gives a platform, and as a MC member, we are going to make a debating club, because what we see here is just one boy of the IISJ and one girl of the IISJ. A lot of talent is there. So I would request to the principal, to the HMs, to make a panel of debaters, those who could not make their presence here. And we should have regular debating events in the school, and by that we will be having much more children facing the audience. Such a learned people here. I would like to thank Mohab sir and Professor Dulrani and our lady judge. They have said all. There is nothing much left to say. So thank you all of you, and what I suggested, hope you will keep in your mind when you make your present in next debate. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words. I can hear prayers being chanted, an air of excitement and hope filling up this auditorium, heartbeats raising and fingers being crossed as we near the declaration of results on this grand occasion. From the very beginning of the program to this very minute, we all have been waiting for this moment to arrive. And therefore, without further ado, I would like to invite our respected principal, Dr. Muzaffar Hassan, onto the stage to declare the winners. Once again, I would like to invite our esteemed member of the Managing Committee, Dr. Prince Mufti Zia ul Hassan, to give away the awards.
Good morning, lovely audience, respected judges and the wonderful debaters.
I have to steal few words from the mouth of judges and the debaters to address you, because the things which I plan to speak were already spoken. I remember Shakespeare, who rightly said, there is nothing good and bad, only thinking makes it so. So, the technology, which is really a wonderful tool in the 21st century, how much it is used and how much it is abused, that is what the topic was for. And the opponents and the team speaking in favor, they have wonderfully done their turn, and now is the result, announcement of the result. So, without making any background, I would like to announce the result, which is eagerly awaited by all the debaters. So, I would like to announce the result for the motion. The third best speaker is Muhammad Ali, International Indian School Thai. He has obtained 141.5 scores. The second best speaker, Mr. Zaina Latif, and she has obtained 149 points. The best speaker, who has been awarded first position, Safura and the participant is from Al Falah International School, EK Jeddah, and this debater has been awarded. She has scored 167.5 scores. Now, the result announcement for the speakers, the debaters who had spoken against the motion. The third position had been awarded to Rayyan Ashar, and he has obtained 150.5 scores. The second best position has been awarded to Alia, New Al-Bollywood International School, and 153 points have been awarded to this debater. And best speaker, the first position, has been bagged by Fahim. are the two sides of the same coin. So those who have been awarded position, second, third or first, and those who have not been awarded any position, I should say that the road to success and failure, the success and failure have the same track. If you have lost, you need not worry, because I often speak, today's loser is going to be tomorrow's winner. So you don't lose your heart, keep it up and try for the next event. And I think this time those who have not got any position, I am pretty sure you will be going to be a winner in the next event. Thank you very much.
Now I would like to invite the Vice Principal of Boys Section, Dr. Najib Qais, VP of Girls Section and Chief Coordinator, Mrs. Farandulisa, and Mrs. Nahin Fatima, the coordinator of this wonderful event, and the judges to join the winners on the stage. I would also like to invite the HM of 9 to 12 Boys Section,